Hey guys, PW here, and we're back out in the garage. Actually, we're right outside the garage. You guys can see we're just getting started back up on this Nova. We're gonna get this project going, and I figured I'd bring you guys in and show you what's going on. The tow board for this was rotted past where the material ended for the patch panel, and that's just going to be too big of a gap. So I'm going to cut a piece of metal and we're going to weld it along here, and then we're going to cut and butt it up in, and that'll take care of that. Over here I just got done cutting and butting a piece here and a piece right here where I had made a mistake when I was cutting this out. This was a tough side. The other side went a lot easier. I'm a little farther away than I wanted to be on this side, but I mean, these line up. I think what happened was I was just caulked a little bit when I cut it and put it in, but we're straightening it out, you know. This is like the first time I've ever done that cut and butt. I'm one of those guys that just replaces the whole panel, but don't worry. I think we could take care of it. I'm pretty nice. You guys can see we did a pretty good job there. We did there, and we're going to do this one together. So let me get the patch cut, and we'll get it tacked to the original patch here, and then we'll do the cut and butt up top together, or at least a portion of it. I mean, you guys have seen this before, but I'll show you the BW garage rendition, I guess. I got this one to do along here too. I tell you, we had this side was rotted worse than the driver's side, and I thought it was the opposite. The braces on this side were better though. You guys can see after we get done this, we got the back floor pan waiting on us. All right, let's get this going, guys. Well, I only did half so far because I'm running out of daylight and gas. I mean, let's take a look real quick. I mean, we're running on empty right there. There's a little tiny bit, but not much. So I'm going to try to get this side right here at least welded in, and that's good progress. And then hopefully I'll get gas tomorrow. Might have to wait till the weekend. We'll see. We got about halfway and we ran out of gas, so we're just gonna clean up for today. I already started getting stuff cleaned up and picked up, but yeah, we'll get there. All right guys, well, it's a few days later. Actually, it's about 4 days later. I just got done welding it's Mother's Day actually. I just got done welding the rest of the passenger side front pan in. I'm getting ready to cut this out. I got a big mess to clean up, but you know, it come out pretty good. I think I'll just wait till during the week and I'm going to cut this out. I think I want to go for a ride in the car. I got to go put gas in it and get it ready, so I might take a ride in my gasser. That's where I'm at. You know, I feel like I can get this done during the week. We'll chip away at it, get it cut out and fit up and tacked in one night, and maybe weld it in another night. It's kind of rough welding on this 45, guys. It's like, it's bad enough. Anybody that's done floors suck. You know, but you know, doing them flat's probably a little bit easier. I'm doing it on this 45. My knees need a break. I can't stay down there that long. So all right, let me wrap this up for today, get this mess cleaned up, and then we'll pick this up during the week. All right guys, well, we're back at it. We're going to try to cut the rough stuff out of this back floor pan. I'm going to try to do a double cut in the back to expose the floor brace. It's just like I'm going to try to get the rust out in the first cut. We'll take a look at what we got. All right, I got the plasma cutter out, so let's see what we can come up with. right on the top brace here. So. Alright, let me get my, I guess the air chisel right here will be a good tool to use right here. We got that rusted piece of crap out of there. We exposed this brace, looks really good. We'll take a look at that together in a minute. Let's get this back portion cut along here, and then we'll remove this piece from this brace. We just hit a little screw here that somebody had ran a self-tapper or something up in to hold a line at one time. All right, so you see we got the front brace and this back brace exposed. They're really great shape. I just want to clean up a little bit, and then I want to paint some of that rust converter onto these. This bracket doesn't need it, but this one does. And then that's good. We'll get this cleaned up and ready for the Okay guys, well, we just got done putting down the rust converter. Come out pretty good. It's going to start converting. It'll turn black, and once it's turned black, you can put any kind of paint you want on there. We're going to use POR 15 after we get the pan put in. We got a lot of cleaning to do. We did the other side last year. It's got a little surface rust. It's no big deal. It's mostly grind dust that we'll vacuum up. All right, you know, we didn't have a whole lot of time today. I got off of work late, but rather than sit in the house and complain about not having time to do anything, we got this rough cut out. It's actually pretty gosh darn close. I'm extremely happy with how we were able to expose the lip of this floor brace and the full floor brace back here without causing any damage whatsoever. They're both in great shape. All right, so tomorrow after work when I get home, hopefully I'll have an hour or two. We'll at least get the patch cut and fitted, possibly tacked. I'm going to rough cut this passenger side back floor pan for the Nova, cut it a little oversized, and then we'll fit it into the car. All right, well, you guys can see we're still oversized a little bit, just like we want to be. We're just going to kind of nibble it in there. We're really close, but we don't want to overdo it. I made a couple mistakes on that side. I come to find out it's if this metal's real good right at the inner rocker, I'm going to leave it. It's a lot easier. It's really hard to get to underneath. So this is where I'm at with this. I'm going to just nibble with that side a little bit at a time till I get it down. You guys can see that it's really low on the tunnel, but we don't want to make a critical cut that's too big. So I'll nibble at it. So let me cut this off and we'll take another look. All right, well, we're fitting in there pretty good. Obviously we got a bit to cut out. I traced all the way around, so if I pull this pan out, you guys can see the line the whole way around. It kind of transfers it. We do not want to cut that line. We want to cut almost an 1/8 inch in front of that line. So that way it'll still sit in just the way it just did, and we can cut and butt it in real nice and not have a bunch of material hanging in there that we got to pull out, if that makes sense. That's how my brain works. But that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to go around and we're going to cut this around real nice with the grinder. We're going to leave the gold line plus a little less, a little more than an 1/8. All right. All right guys, well, this went really well. You can see right along here it's basically ready to weld. All right, the other 3 sides are going to need a very, very light cut and butt. And see what I mean right there? That's all 3 sides, but this side is perfect, ready to weld. All right, so let me get things set up. We'll get this tacked in. We got to bring these 4 corners down to bare metal and get ready to tack. Bring it back in a few. All right, you guys can see we're running out of daylight. We got this cut butted in. This is easily the best one so far. I mean, I never patch paneled before. I changed the full floor on the 55. Completely different animal, completely different job. I learned as I went. I made a lot of mistakes on the first 3. But this one here, I don't think there's a better job to be had. I'm really satisfied with the fit. All right. But I'm going to clean the mess up. We'll pick this up tomorrow and get that welded out, take a look at it together, and we'll take the job from there. All right, guys, well, it's the next day. We got a little break in the rain, so I came out and I got the pan welded in. I come out pretty good. Right now, I'm just drilling for plug welds for our braces in the front and the back. I have the front ones already drilled, ready to go. Figured I'd bring you guys in. I might have showed this years ago when I was doing the 55 for making plug welds. I really like these rotary bits. You can get them on Amazon. I think I'm using, I want to say 1/4 inch or 3/8. I can't remember which one I grabbed. But either here nor there, they you make a punch mark, make sure it's nice and deep. And then these tips on the end, they're spring loaded, but they hold the bit in the place so that it don't jump around, and you get through the sheet metal fairly quickly for your plug weld. get it out of there. I'll get it out of there in a minute. But the back here, it looks like it's just a hair up. So I'll just tap it down a little bit and plug weld it. They're really close. I mean, the ones in the front are touching. Towards the front of this pan, it's touching, but it's just a hair up right there. But that's all right. It's somewhere for us to put our plug weld. So let me get these drilled out, get them plug welded up. We'll take a look at it together. Here's a blooper for you guys. I didn't mark it. I knew where it was, but I didn't realize it didn't come the whole way over. I put a hole into nowhere. No big deal. We'll fill it. All right, guys. Well, we're rapidly losing daylight, so we're going to clean up. But you can see I got the plug welds done there in the front going to the brace going across. Same with the back, and the last one, our hole to nowhere is filled back up. All right, so it's nice and strong. I mean, it's in there, right? Okay, at some point I'm gonna have to make pieces to go in here and seal those back off. I have the one over here on the welder. I just have to make copies of this, but without the fancy little press or whatever you want to call on it. So we'll get that done, but I'm gonna finish this video up. I think it's long enough, and our next job is we got to patch these inside quarters, both sides. The driver's side's way worse. It goes up into the wheel tub there, but over here on this side, it's only the very front that really needs our attention, right down in through here. All right, and we'll clean it up and see and make sure how everything looks. But that'll be in the next video, and then we'll also clean up the pans we did last year, fix up anything we think needs fixed up, and then we'll be ready to put our Pour 15 on. That'll be in the I don't know if it'll be the next video, because we got some work coming up on the C30 out front, but it may be. whatever I get home and got time to tackle, that's what I'll tackle. All right, but you guys can see we're started back on the Nova. I may not be fixing this the way everybody thinks it needs to be fixed, but I'm doing the best I can. I had one guy on one of the other social media sites was talking about, well, why don't you just change the whole pan? I think everybody looks at it differently, because they saw I had two-piece pan inserts to put in. I mean, me, if I had bought it from scratch, I probably would have just bought a whole floor, but I felt like I wanted to keep as much of the original floor since I wasn't changing it. It's certainly not laziness. I would, it would only take a few more minutes to cut this out, that little 2-foot or whatever, but I felt like the metal's okay, and it welded okay, so I don't see what everybody else sees, I guess. The one thing I did learn is if you can leave the inside rocker to pan, leave it. I figured that out on the last one. But this front was bad. I would have had to take it out anyway, but I might have been able to do it on that other back. But hey, that's what we got seam sealer for. We'll straighten that out, no big deal. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure did enjoy making it. We'll be having a lot more content on the Nova coming up, so if you haven't yet, please subscribe, share, like, all that stuff. Doesn't cost you a penny, and it sure does help me. Till next time, take care, everybody.